Yo, turn me up, yo. Okay. The world is what we make it when we visualize. It's in your eyes. Realize. Stay alert. See your inbox and don't blink. Don't blink. Check it out. Yo, go Phinc. Go.
So what do you think is more important, the destination or the journey?
I don't think any is more important than the other. I think they're both important. Destination and journey important. The destination is important because you need to know what the end game is, what the end state is. The journey is important in relation to the destination. And I'll just try to break it down so that you can understand why I say the both are important. Maybe not equally important, but the both are important. So first, the destination. Like I said, the destination is about, you know, when I hear the word destination, I automatically think about where are we ending up? What is the end point? What is the end game? You know, what is the objective? Actually, not objective, more like a vision. Where are we going to end up with this? And in trying to consider that, you know, I also consider the fact that how I end up there, or rather the state in which I end up there, is also as important, right? So what I mean is, so take for example, if I was going for a meeting, right, somewhere about 30 kilometers away, that point where I'm going to be at, the meeting point, is my destination. But the state in which I get there is as important to the destination. And that's something that, you know, I would like everybody to know. That the state of mind, the state of being in which I get there is important to destination. So when I say this is my destination, I am trying to describe the place, but also the state of being, mind, body, in getting there, right? And it's always important to always determine what your start point is, know what your start point is, and know what your end point is, right? If you do not know where your end point is, every journey that you make, every movement that you make is useless. So now, journey. In this case, this is the reason why the journey is important. So the means by which you move from one point to the next point to the next point till you get to your destination is important. But it is only important in relation with your destination. So not just all journeys are important, you know, but the journey to the destination is important. In your journey, there are milestones. There are these different stop points that record your progress, that let you know when you're making a progress from your start to your finish. And it's important to know what your milestones are, what your milestones will be, because your milestones fuel the journey you're making, but then they also let you know if you're on the right path. If you do not know what the milestones are, so these mini destinations till you get to your final destination, if you do not know what they are, you will probably end up not knowing if you're on the right track. And most often I've seen so many people get confused or get depressed or get really sad on this journey called life, and they do not realize, or they're not sure if they're getting or they're moving towards their destination. And it's simply because they haven't decided what the milestones will be, what these mini destinations will be, to help them know if they're on the right track, right? So destination, journey, very important, both important. Maybe not equally important, but they are both important, and they must always be talked about side by side.
So you mentioned milestones. How do you know when you're done with a certain milestone, and how do you know subsequently when you get to the final destination?
Well, you only dwell on milestones that require that things are done first and completed before moving to the next milestone. And what I mean is, there are some milestones where you have to have done a bit of activity. You need to have dwelled there, done something before getting to the next milestone. In other words, if you have not done this, then you can't get to the next milestone. You can't move from this point to the next point. So take, for example, if I was starting in school, and one of the important things, so if, for example, milestone 1 is creating a syllabus or a curriculum, and then milestone 2 is starting out a class, it is important that I first create the curriculum and the syllabus before going out to start a class. So I can dwell for as long as possible trying to create the syllabus. I can do it in 2 minutes, I can do it in an hour, but for as long as I dwell there, I need to first dwell there, finish what that is before moving to the next thing, right? So really, some milestones don't require you to dwell. Some milestones pretty much are just to let you know that you're making progress, right? So take, for example, in that example that I gave, one of the milestones will be opening up my laptop, so that's just, they're like mini milestones that just let you know that you're making progress and moving, but dwell only on milestones that that the other milestones rely on, right? Another thing to note about dwelling on milestones is the time you spend in each milestone becomes the factor that determines the length of the project or the length of your journey you're making, right? So if I was moving from point A to point B, and point C is a milestone that I have to dwell on, right, and it takes me 3 hours to do point C, right, then if anyone asked me how long does it take from point A to point B, I would first need to know what and how long point C will take, because that determines the entire journey. Yeah, so destination, journey, very important. Destination is about where and about the state at which you get there. The journey is only important in relation to the journey, to the destination, and each of these journeys that we make have mini destinations. Only dwell on those mini destinations that the other mini destinations rely on. Thank you.